Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 23 career mode, and today we're here for the 8th round of our full Moto3 season for the Dutch TT at Assen. Now, if you didn't see the last episode at the German Grand Prix at Sachsenring, I do recommend you go check that one out before we do get into this one. It was another pretty tough round, struggling towards the back, but we did manage to bring a couple of points home, which helped us out massively in our battle with Jaume Masia, because this is the last round of the turning point where we need to be ahead of him in the championship. Now, actually heading into this round, I do feel quite confident. It is a circuit where I've gone very well in the past. You know, they always say Assen is a rider's circuit, and I did do a little test, and it doesn't seem like there's particularly any massively weak corners, even though you might think in theory there's a lot of high speed corners at this circuit, as some of them are a little bit long. It's actually not too bad because the track is quite wide. I can carry decent corner speed through there. I don't actually have to sort of wait on the throttle like I did at Sachsenring. So it does actually seem like we have got pretty good pace. So if we actually look on this screen here, then you can see this is the last round of our turning point against Masia, like I did say. Now, if we do manage to achieve this turning point, I do believe that in the next round we will just have to beat him on circuit to fully seal the deal, just a bit like we did with Riccardo Rossi, because it does seem like it is a bit of a cycle. But that probably will be quite difficult at the Kazakhstan Grand Prix, because it's a track that I really don't know at all. But without any further ado, we may as well get straight into this Dutch TT. I'm really looking forward to it, because like I said, I do feel like I'm pretty fast there. I think we've got the chance to probably fight for the win. This could be one of our best chances of a win all season, so I'm going to try and take it. So I'll see you after free practice, and hopefully we're topping the times. Well, actually, we're not even going to get to do practice or qualifying, apparently. It's just put me straight into the race. I have no idea why. I definitely should have had practice and qualifying selected. So unless it's carried it over from the Grand Prix that I did before, where I just had it on race only, but I'm sure I looked, there was a tick in the practice column, so there should have been practice at the very least, even if we didn't have qualifying. But we haven't had either, so we're literally going to be starting at the back of the grid here for the Dutch TT. I promise you, this is not deliberate. This has just happened for some reason. So this is the second race in a row that something weird has happened and thrust us straight into the race. Now, of course, we did actually get to do qualifying in Sachsenring, but we've just got to get straight into the race here. So we're being recommended the soft on the front and the rear. Now, I think I'm going to go slightly away from that. I'm going to go on the medium front, but I am going to keep the soft rear because, again, when I tested before, it did work pretty well. And in fairness, this isn't that much of a trail braking circuit, so the front tire probably won't get overheated as much, but I'd rather just have the medium on. I know the medium will work at the very least, even if the soft also works. I know the medium definitely will, whereas I'm not sure about the soft. I don't want to have an overheating front end like I did in Mugello. But we have got a bit of a task ahead of us now then. A 50% race at least. It looks like there is going to be some variables in the weather, but it does seem to just be from cloudy to sunny, so shouldn't be a problem at all there. But yeah, we've got to get us elbows out here, because we probably do have the pace to fight at the front, but we're at a pretty big disadvantage now. I've been put at the back. I still don't know why it's put me straight into the race, because I definitely had the other session selected, and it's never done this before. Yep, very strange, but I'm going to try and give it my all in the race regardless.
There's something magical about racing at Assen. The crowd is ready, the riders are ready, we're ready, and in a few moments, we'll see the start of the Dutch Grand Prix.
So we've got Morera on pole position, then Ortola alongside him, and Sasaki rounds out the front row. So it looks like then we've got Holgado a little bit further behind, but here we are then, waiting for the lights to go out here for the Dutch TT. The lights held for an eternity once again there, but lights out and away we go. What's the start been like? Not too bad, but I tell you what, we are going to have to pull some aggressive passes to try and get through the pack today. Obviously started down in 28th, and we go down towards turn 1. We've done a bit of a dive bomb, but these are quite a few riders. Via's on the outside of us now, so up to P22 already. So we've made a pretty decent start, past about 7 riders on the run to turn 1. Up the inside we go, one of the snipers' bikes. There is CIP on the outside as well, David Salvador that is. Agi stuck on the outside there seemingly as well. Can we get on the inside of Rueda in front of us as we go into the Strub and Hairpin? Scott Ogden's a couple of places in front of us as well. Agi tries to hang it around the outside. I've just bashed Agi into the side of Rueda, so I do apologise. I think some of the passes will be aggressive, but I've been put to the back of the grid through no fault of my own on 100% difficulty as well, which is what I was planning on using. I was expected to qualify on that as well, so yeah, it's going to be quite difficult to get through. But our teammate Scott Ogden then in front of us in P18. Furasato side by side with him in 17th place. Ogden obviously now up to 16th as he passes Furasato, so we need to try and get a move on here, because of course, at the very least, I do want to beat my teammate Scott Ogden. Here we go, around the outside into the bolt of Furasato. Furasato hangs it in there. Fair play to Tayo. We're trying to go around the outside of him now. And can we get on the inside of Scott Ogden as well into the Mandavine? Not quite. We've got Furasato, it looks like, unless he's going to come back at us now. Scott Ogden makes a bit of a mistake there through the Dukerschlute. Seems to turn in a bit too early. We're on the outside of Furusato. We've got Furusato now then. So next up is our teammate Scott Ogden, the two Vision Track Academy riders. Of course, we do get on a little bit more with him now in this career mode. Our standing with him is now neutral, rather negative. But he makes a bit of a mistake there, picks the bike up, almost as if he lets us through there, which is quite nice of Scott. So that puts us up into 16th place, almost hitting Ricardo Rossi at the back as we go into the chicane, actually. Bit of a wheelie through the chicane, not ideal. But Ricardo Rossi then, our old rival, just ahead of us. So speaking of our rival, the gap's still 6 points to Masia at the minute. So even though we're not scoring, we're still ahead of him. But up inside we go of Ricardo Rossi into turn one. He's going to try to hang around the outside. In fairness, he does a pretty good job of hanging it around the outside there. So for now, we're going to have to remain in P16. Here we go. We got the inside through the Venus slang. We should be able to go around the outside through the Ruskin hook. And there we go, up into P15 now. So up into the points. And in fact, I can actually see Masia a couple of places up the road. So Masia does seem to be struggling once again this weekend, a bit like us. It does sort of reinforce my opinion that maybe they are rubber banded slightly towards you when you have to beat them, when that's your target. If you're struggling, I think they do make them a bit lower through the order to make it a bit fair on you. Which is kind of strange, because surely to beat Masia is supposed to be a big thing since he's the lead Honda rider. But even still, we should be able to catch him in a couple of laps. He's really wide there as well, although we're being attacked by Ricardo Rossi now. So maybe I need to watch myself rather than watching Masia up the road. But Masia has been passed by a couple of people this lap, so I think he's in P12 now. So yeah, he's really dropping. And we'll probably be passing him in a few laps' time, or on the next lap, hopefully. A few riders wide again through this left-hander. Toba holding up Fallon a little bit. Can we try and get either of them into the Gertrude chicane? Oh, we've just bashed Toba. Sorry, Kaito. Kaito's still got the inside, though, so we're not on the we're on a bit of a compromised line, but I think we've got the pair of them. So up towards the line, then. 1 minute 45.1, 44.6 for Danny Holgado in the lead. So we are lapping a bit slower than the leaders, but of course, we've still got a lot of traffic to clear. So that is good, but we've had good progress so far. 2 laps up into P13. So I'm actually quite happy with the progress we've made through so far. But Masia, our rival, just ahead of us now. So we really do need to try and make the pass on him. Although the gap is 10 points at this point, we'd still be beating him even if we finished here. But I want to make further progress, and just the best way to guarantee that we beat him in this turning point is to beat him on track, of course. So here we are then, Masia just ahead of us. We're quite a bit underneath our previous best time, 0.4 of a second. Hopefully we're safe from being passed through the Dukas. We are, because the AI take a really tight line through there. I like to take a bit more of a sweeping line and carry the speed, but obviously it does leave me a bit vulnerable. So pass in front. Someone's just overtaken Yamanaka. I think it's Nepa has overtaken Yamanaka, and that's held them up a little bit. But to be fair, they are keeping me at bay here. I'm not really catching them that easily. Masia almost hits the back of Yamanaka there. Big mistake from Jaume Masia. That's cost him a load of time. We've overtaken him. We've hit Yamanaka on the run into the Gertrude chicane. So that's 2 laps in a row now that we've hit someone into that chicane. So I really do need to put my ideas up because we're being a bit too aggressive. I know I said I was going to be aggressive to get through the pack because we are on the difficulty that I expected to be racing with, not actually cutting through the pack of. But we do need to calm down a little bit. We've got past Stefano Nepa then, so we're up into the top 10 now. So it's literally only been 3 laps up into the top 10. So that is some great progress. I've taken my first look at the fuel. We're still okay on fuel for now, which is good, because obviously I've been using Power Mode 3 this whole race. Nepa didn't take too kindly, so we're sort of ramming our way past him, and he comes back through. Fair enough from Stefano there. But I can see Moreira's now taking the lead. It looks like him and Holgado are going to try and check out a little bit. They've done this plenty of times before this season. So really, if we want to win this race, which is what I want today, I felt like coming into this weekend, I could win the race, even with this AI difficulty. Perhaps I was going to even turn it up, actually, based on the practice performance. But of course, I haven't even had a chance to do practice because it put me straight into the race. So we're running 100 difficulty like we have in most of the other rounds. And so far, we've carved our way through. Of course, nothing guaranteed yet, though. We could end up on the deck. We could get no further through the pack, but I want to win this race today. So we've got Nepa in front of us. Then it's Munoz. Then it seems to be Joel Kelso is that in front. Munoz got sort of hung out to dry there by Kelso. We've got the run on Munoz. We've got the run on Nepa as well. Can we try and get Nepa? Where are we going? We're on the grass. I think I did that a couple of years ago in a career mode race here, actually. We're up the inside of Nepa now. We've got the run on Joel Kelso as well. They're so slow through that left-hander. I don't know what they do. They seem to pick the bike up for some bizarre reason. Kelso back up the inside through the chicane. More contact through the chicane, but this time not caused by myself. We've got the run to the line compared to Kelso. So we're now up into 8th place. Dennis Onchu ahead of us. And then ahead of him, Tatsuki Suzuki. So this is how we go then of Onchu. Oh, he's hanging around the outside. To be fair, Suzuki sort of getting in his way a little bit, but he's still trying to squeeze between us. To be fair, good racing between the 3 of us there, keeping it nice and close but clean at the same time. And here we go through the Strubben now. Can we try and get the exit? It seems like the AI have got a bit of an advantage out of there, to be fair, because they can turn tight so they can pick up the power a bit earlier. Probably the one section on the track, really, where they are considerably quicker than me. But you can see so far we are under our personal best, so we've put us into the 1:43s, and I think so far I've only seen the AI do mid-44s. But we've passed Suzuki around the outside then through the Ruskin hook. So myself and Onshu both have actually passed Suzuki, even though I was trying to attack Onshu. It's ended up with us both passing Suzuki. So up into P7, but I do feel like we are going to get attacked into the double rights by Suzuki, because the AI do seem to turn a really tight line through the Mandavine, although he's trying to attack us on the exit of the Bolt, which actually might have messed him up for the Mandavine, because now he's going to be on my outside, although that's not stopped him. He's right around my outside, so we're now back down. Well, now Kelso's gone through as well, so all of a sudden we were battling Onshu for P6, and we're down in P8 again, in fact P9, sorry. We've got the run once again on Kelso. We should be able to get him, although we just got to be careful because we max out a lot here. We're right on the limiter, and it just stops me. And Kelso picked the bike up on our inside. Come on, Kelso. That's not really acceptable, is it? Through a fast left-hand corner, he just picked up the bike. That's cost us our old run through the chicane, really. But Suzuki seems to have held Kelso up, so maybe we can actually get them on the run down towards turn 1, try and pass the pair of them, and finally be rid of the two, because we've been stuck behind them now for about a lap. And there we go, the inside we go. Can we get it stopped into turn 1? I seem to have ran a little bit wide. Kelso's going to come back up the inside of both myself and Suzuki. So Joel Kelso really being a bit of a thorn in my side here. We're going back up the inside of him. No, that's going to be too aggressive. We've just about got through the Osnabrücker there, but I did think I was going to lose the front on that curb. But now, all of a sudden, we're on lap 6. We're getting towards the midpoint of the race, and we've not made much progress in the last couple of laps. So it looked like maybe we were going to be able to fight for the win, but I think now Kelso, really, it is pretty much all Kelso with the ramming and stuff, has cost us a lot of time and potentially a shot at this win. We're up the inside of him we go. We're going to just try and run him out of road a little bit, or at least cut him up so he doesn't get the switchback. He's trying to go around the outside through the second valve. Oh, a little bit of contact as he tries to hang it around the outside. He is hanging it around the outside, to be fair to him. These CF Moto bikes really are a pain in my side. In fact, actually, no, it's not the CF Motos, is it? This obviously is a CF Moto Kelso, but I was thinking in the last race that Artigas was holding me up, but it wasn't. It was Via holding me up. It's Artigas that is my championship rival, really, isn't it? So, yeah, I guess the CF Motos are a thorn in my side, but Kelso has effectively cost us 2 laps worth of progress so far, which is not ideal in an 11-lap race, it must be said. But hopefully we can get him on the run into the Gert Timmer chicane on this lap, and then hopefully just be rid of him and go after Onshu in front. He picks the bike up like he did on the previous lap with us on his outside. And there we go, up into P7 then. Onshu next, then it's Suzuki. In fact, no, it's not Suzuki, it's Ortola, then Suzuki. Oh, but a big wheelie through the chicane. Come on, no, don't cost me the place to Kelso again. I cannot afford to be battling with this guy again. Unbelievable, unbelievable. The game just gives us a massive wheelie on a Moto 3 bike, on, you know, as well, which just really doesn't happen very often. And Kelso is still sticking it on the outside. Well, I've had enough of him. I'm going to put some pretty harsh on him, because he's really annoying me now, to be honest. And up the inside we go into turn 3. Going to try and run him out of road. Well, he's going to cut back up the inside of us. It's just costing us hand over fist. The fact that Kelso has just been blocking us this whole time has really cost us so much time. You can see how far the leaders are in front now. We're 3.4 behind. We're not catching that up with what we've got left. But the inside with Joel Kelso we go. This time I really am going to try and cut him off to stop the attack. And he tries to go around the outside of us again. But this time I think we've finally done it. So we should be up into P6, or P7, sorry. And again, he's still attacking us. I mean, I'm probably making mistakes now by trying to be too aggressive in passing him. And round the outside of me he goes. He just mugged me off completely there. Has Joel Kelso. He's just cost us so much time. We're going back up the inside again through the Mandavine. We're still somehow pulling away from Suzuki in all of this. But we're up the inside of it through the Dukas Loop. He's a bit wide. Can we pick up the power? No, we can't. He's just blocking us so much. And we're still on the personal best lap as well after all this, which is hard to believe. But again, we're in the slipstream of him in the same section of the track. I've had enough of following him through here. We're going to try and commit to the inside, because I know he'll probably pick the bike up. He has indeed. We're through, up into P7 now, and just need to not make a mistake at the chicane. Oh, come on! Joel Kelso just rammed us at the chicane. Cost us a couple of tenths of a second there, but I think this time we might have got rid of him, because we got the run out of there and pulled away from him a little bit. Well, this has been one special lap here. Through the chicane, we've passed Onshu already. So what is this lap time going to be? 1 minute 43.5. We've closed the gap to 1.5 seconds to the race leader now. We were 3.4 halfway around the previous lap. It looks like Holgado might have hit some sort of trouble. He's ran massively wide there. Sazaki's taking the lead now. We've passed Onshu. Ortola is ahead of us. We're pretty much marginal on the fuel now. But I don't care about the fuel. I can see the race win. It's still a possibility for me now. I thought I've been cost the position, but if we can try and be aggressive and find our way past Ortola here, we could pull it off. Here we go, the inside to the Ruskin hook. On the inside we go of Ivan Ortola up into P5. Autolet's trying to go back around the outside of us. Please, Ivan, please. You've won enough races this season, mate. Let me try and win one. Last time I was in a position to win, really, it was him that cost me by just being so much faster than the rest of AI. But he's re-overtaken us now, and the leaders are stretching away a little bit. The gap is 1.5, so it's the same as it was at the start of the lap. But really, I need to be making inroads, not just equaling them. We've got that past Autola. Through the Rams hook we go. You can see the two leaders at the front, actually, Sasaki and Holgado, have just put a little bit of a gap into Artigas and Moreira, as they've made a bit of a mistake through the left-hander. Well, they did the sit-up thing, but it seemed like those two didn't. But as we start the penultimate lap of the race, then we're in P5, but the win is less than a second ahead. But we're going to have to be pretty aggressive because we've struggled to make progress on some of these faster AI so far. So it's going to be pretty damn hard to get 4 riders in 2 laps, it must be said. We're up the inside of Artigas, who has thrown our hands up in frustration at him. We've kind of bashed him a little bit out of the way. Our championship rival, actually, Xavi Artigas, and we got the inside of him into Strub, and he's left us the space. Can we try and square the corner off and get past him? A little bit of contact again. No, unfortunately, we haven't been able to square it off and get past him. We're in his slipstream. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him into the Veen Slang. We're side by side with him, and maybe we can try and get Moreira into the Ruskin hook as well off the back of that one. We're going to try and carry the speed through on the inside. We go. Moreira's closest contact. I think we've just about made it stick there around the outside of Moreira through the second valley. Hits us a little bit there, to be fair. So into Debult, we need to make it stick. Well, actually, we've kind of got him before Debult. We've just got to break late as possible. He tries to go around the outside. We squoze him a little bit. He's on the inside. He's costing us again. We're going to have to pick the bike up very slightly through the Mandavine. Sasaki and Holgado are really going for it in front of each other. Sasaki at least on Holgado. Oh, we've dropped that behind Artigas as well now, but we're on the power. Surely we've got to try something. We're really marginal on fuel. Plus 0.1. We're going to have to turn the fuel down on the last lap just to make sure that we actually make it to the end, because I'd rather, you know, finish P2 or P3 or P4 or P5 than not finish at all. But of course I want that win. Holgado makes a big mistake there. He's been sat up there by Moreira and Sasaki, and we're going to go around the outside of him into the Gert Timber chicane. Can we pull it down? We're just about going to be able to do it, but unfortunately we've not been able to pass Holgado on this occasion. Sasaki, I think, has got this 1-1 now if he doesn't make a mistake. Down to Palmo 2. We can't risk Palmo 3 any longer. Maybe we can still get a podium here. We don't think we're going to get the win now with Sasaki so far in front, but it is going to take some risk, I think, to be able to pass either of these two, really, because, of course, they have been the class of the field so far this season. Round the outside we go of Holgado. We've kind of bashed into the back of Moreira there. We're really trying. You can tell I'm trying, because, really, we should have been in the position to win this race if we'd actually done the qualifying, if we'd been allowed to do the qualifying. Out of Strubben we go, trying to get the slipstream on Moreira, but it's not going to happen. And here we go to the Ruskin hook up the inside. Oh, we've just we've just completely rammed Moreira out the way, but we've passed the two of them through the Ruskin hook, and we've been hit out the way enough by the AI this season. We've been hit enough by probably Moreira in this one race. We got hit by Kelso. We've been hit by pretty much everyone. Now Holgado's the one's actually attacked us. I think we probably actually really affected Moreira there. And unfortunately, we've dropped back down off the podium again. Go away, Artigas, mate. I don't want you getting involved as well, but he's going around the outside. It just seems like through that section, they've got such an advantage compared to me. I just don't have the pace that they do. Could use a bit of Palmo 3 now, but I think it's going to be 5th place. I don't think we're going to pick off any more riders here. Sasaki has got this one, like I did say, but we just don't have the pace through the Debult section. We've got to try and rest our front a little bit through that to make sure we don't lose the front. Artigas picks the bike up a little bit there. We're on the inside, on the grass almost. We made a big mistake on the green. We've got to try this warning. And it's going to be P5 after all that. I am absolutely devastated. Just go through the chicane, up towards the line. We deserved that. We deserved the race win, but it's P5 today. What a disappointment. It's so difficult when you actually get into the scrap with them because they ride so strangely as well, and just the different areas of the circuit. Once the tyre's gone off as well, you can't attack the corners in the same way. I could have probably ridden that last lap better, that penultimate lap a bit better, but ultimately it came down to time that we'd lost earlier on in the race. I couldn't pick them off one by one, which is what I'd have wanted to have done. But even still, you can't. This is the pack racing mentality that you see there. When you try and take a flowing line, you just get overtaken by like all three of them. So little I could have done there. We tried to pass Artigas, but really what I should have done was just taken the normal line through there and probably just outbrake through into the chicane. But I was trying to hope maybe if I could pass him on the inside there, I could outbrake one of the other two into the chicane. But last to 5th place, I don't think we can really complain about that. Probably as good of a race as Texas, so there you go. It's a kind of similar, because I think Kelso got in our way a massive amount in that one as well. So in the Riders' Championship then, we actually lose a position to Sasaki. Sasaki gained so many points on us there by winning the race and us being in 5th. We dropped down to 6th in the championship. So that is a shame that we have been overtaken by Sasaki there. But we have beat Jaume Masia. Guess that was our main target. We are still the top Honda by a decent amount of points. So obviously the KTMs and the Husqvarnas and the CF Motos have big advantages over us. But we're now almost 100 points behind, 89 points off of the championship lead. So I know I keep saying it every episode that we're already out of the championship, but as it goes on, even a most remarkable comeback becomes impossible. Although I suppose Bagnaia did it from this point last year, but we don't have a massive bike advantage like he did. So onto the team's championship then, not much changes. Tech 3 moved back ahead of MT Helmets by a few points, but everything else seems fairly static. So there we go then, that was the Dutch GP. I'm disappointed to not have won that one, but we at least achieved a turning point, so when we head back to the career hub, we should get something for that. And then it probably will be another turning point to try and beat him at Kazakhstan, which is going to be tough because that track is one, absolutely terrible, one of the worst tracks I've ever seen, and two, just not one I know at all. So we might have to turn the AI down to like 70 or something just to compete there because I don't even know where I'm going on that circuit. So we did get 1,750 reputation there, which does move us slightly up towards Pro. And of course we did achieve the key to success, so we should get another turning point now. One step at a time. So we've got the turning point then of one step at a time. Biker's performance is convincing Honda. Finishing the race in front of Masia might result in additional support from the manufacturer. So it's exactly as I expected. It is just trying to beat him at Sokol. I don't know whether it's just bad luck that I just keep getting the same ones, because obviously it is always that sort of roulette where you got the option of two, or whether it is completely scripted. But I hope that this isn't just the cycle, because it is a bit repetitive. Just make sure you're in front of this guy in the championship at this round, oh, and then beat him again. Like, I don't need to beat him again. I've beat him enough times now to prove that I'm better than him, and that we should have the support from Honda. But we have got a social media message here from Tatsuki Suzuki. So he says, it wasn't a good race. We didn't want to end up behind Biker, but that's the way it went. We'll make up for it at Sokol. So we will respond nicely to him again, just to try and keep the Honda guys on side, of course. The team and I are pleased. The bike was fantastic, and this was a really good result. Now we need to keep this up for the next race, or I don't think we finished ahead of direct rivals by coincidence. I'd like to have had more competition in every race. Hopefully I won't be bored in the next one. So we'll click this one here, try and be nice to him. It's brought his reputation up slightly, but obviously not up to a point where it's positive like it is with his teammate Masia. But there we go then. That pretty much does bring this episode to a close. So I do apologise that it probably is a little bit shorter than previous episodes with us not doing qualifying and practice. But it was unfortunate that we had to start from the back of the field. Clearly we had the pace. Clearly we could have won today if we'd qualified. But another race, another win's going. And we've done 8 rounds. 8 rounds of this season, 3 of last season. And we've not even come close to winning a race yet. It is frustrating. It does show how good the AI are. Also, though, how frustrated they are. Because, again, here we did have the pace, but we were held back by overly aggressive riding from the AI. Stupid things, stupid physics things as well, like getting the wheelie in the chicane. It was just, yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But that is the game sometimes. And, of course, we haven't got a very good motorbike either. So it is pretty difficult for us to pick up wins when we're basically so slow compared to the rest of the AI. But I hope you guys did enjoy that one regardless. If you're new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe. It does help me out, and you'll be getting plenty more MotoGP 23 game content, career mode, online videos. Some game experiments should be coming at some point as well. Perhaps even some other stuff like Academy if you guys want to see that as well. So do let me know in the comments below as well what kind of content you do like to see. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.